Hey, it's Chris West from That Sci-Fi Show, and we're still here at DragonCon, and I have, it took a year to do it. Last year we had Eureka and Neil Grayson on. We tried to schedule Mr. Ferguson, but he just was so busy, and he was nice enough to take some time out of his busy schedule, because he's had lines just all day long.
I'm exhausted. I'm broken. I'm half a man. I'm a shell of a man. Hear my voice. I got nothing. I'm on fumes.
And that's why I'm going to suck you dry.
Wow, that's what she said. Okay.
Oh, and that wasn't set up at all.
Where do we go from there? That's a wrap, everybody.
Well, let me first present this by saying
let's begin with you sucking me dry.
I try not to laugh. I can't help it.
I don't know if we're going to have to bleep that on the radio because the FCC's really tight, but we'll get away with it.
All right.
Okay.
So let me first start off by saying it is a true privilege and pleasure. I love Eureka. You are amazing out on that show.
Thanks.
And let me ask you, when you started this off so many years ago, did you honestly think that it would take off as huge as it has?
No. I mean, it was a wow. I mean, that's sort of a. I didn't know if I had it in me. I didn't know if I could provide what a show like that needed. I didn't know if anyone wanted to see what I wanted to do. I didn't know. There's so many things being untested at that point in the game, and starting from a bare bones thing, like I would have just been happy for it to just go, but for it to have gone and to have done so much for me, and it's made me feel really good about the work that I do, and feel like it, there's a place for it, and it's been huge emotionally and financially, and I'm grateful as all hell for its existence.
That's very cool, and and a lot of actors nowadays, unfortunately, because studios like Fox, who have a natural habit of cutting a nice, good series off after the first season, like Firefly, Dollhouse, and many other great series that have been cut off.
More Firefly than Dollhouse.
Yes, more Firefly than Dollhouse, but still, Dollhouse.
Let's be controversial, shall we?
It had its moments.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, since you've been working with the Sci-Fi Channel, and there's been a lot of controversy, especially over the name change,
sure.
And have you felt that it's ever inhibited you, or blocked you from being as creatively controlled as you want to be on the show, or has it actually helped being backed by such a big network?
Funny question. Good question. The name change, I'll start with that. I always thought it should go to something like SFN, to be a bunch of letters like the other networks. And also, anyone who has sort of a sci-fi bias is then more inclined to watch something called SFN. The reason why they did it, obviously, as everybody knows, is legal. You can't own a genre, but you can own SYFY. So to be able to own the network is really important, legally speaking. They had to change it.
Yes.
So that sort of, the name had to change, full stop. But I would have gone a different way, but my way could have been wrong. Has it ever inhibited me? No. Or the show? No. I would call it a small network, actually, because what ultimately happened on the show is that, we're a show that's owned by NBC. We're a network that's owned by NBC Universal, which is owned by now Comcast, previously GE. Those guys make the big decisions.
Yes.
And there's only so much money they're going to release to the corporations down the ladder. So
yeah, they have to divvy it up among all the different networks, corporations.
yeah,
holdings.
I mean, if it was NBC, we'd still stay on the air because they could keep us. But what happened at Syfy is they literally got to the place where they sort of looked at doing another season of the show or another 6 episodes of the show, and they got down to sort of breaking the math on what it would mean for development in 2013 and what it would mean for the future of their jobs, and they felt that it wouldn't help the show's syndication abilities, any, to go another 13 or even another 6, and that $20 million could be used substantially to create other shows. So they've put their money behind the creation of new shows, is what they've done, which obviously inhibits me because I don't go to work anymore. But that's their prerogative. I mean, somebody gives you $200 million to make 80 episodes of television. It's really hard to have sour grapes. I don't like being told what to do with my money.
Yes.
So I don't feel like I can turn to them and go, you should do this with your $200 million. It's like, they're like, who are you? But
it's actually nice that you're very humble in that aspect, because a lot of actors, they feel that they're entitled to that. The show wouldn't be the show without me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money. Someone's giving you $3 million a week to make a television show, and they have a bunch of requests. Maybe listen to the requests. They're giving you $3 million a week, and thanks. That's nice of you. I just think you have to keep it in perspective, because it's a lot of money to make television.
Yes, and you were absolutely right. It is great to keep it in perspective. Now with the series, coming to a close and not going to be filmed in 2013, what's next for you? Where would you like to move on to?
I don't know. I need to. We wrapped on Wednesday. What day is it today? Is it Friday or is it Saturday?
Today is Saturday.
Welcome to Dragon Con.
Exactly.
It's Saturday.
I thought yesterday was Saturday.
Yeah, it felt like it. Last night did anyway.
Yes, it did.
Woo. So what would I like to do? I think a lot of directing. They've made offers, and I'm going to go and direct a bunch of shows for them. I'd love to direct a Warehouse, Warehouse 13. I know Jack, and I know Eddie, and I know JoJo. I know all the cast, and I like them. Although I'd also love to do Sanctuary, because I know, and you know what? I know all of them at this point. I don't know the Being Human guys, but directing anything is always an adventure, so I'm up for it. I would like to stay with Syfy and the direct, and who knows? Probably the stuff that's still on the air, not like Defiance or Terra Nova, their new stuff, because I just don't know it as well.
Yeah.
Acting, obviously there's calls going out and calls coming in about availability and stuff, and I don't know what I'll do in the future. I'd love to do something similar to what I just did. I don't want to do, I don't think, some super dark, weird thing. I just don't have and I enjoy laughing a lot, so I'd like to stick with that.
Well, I mean, you could do it very dark, but be the humorous guy in the dark one.
Oh, that's true.
That's the trick, though, is that you have to be the humorous guy that actually lives.
Exactly. Or I mean, or movies. I don't really have a lot of traction in movies, so I don't necessarily think that'll happen. But I like TV, so yeah, probably that, I guess, or more movies, directing stuff.
I'd definitely love to see you direct more stuff. It's great to see an actor who tries to really get involved in the whole process of the making. You have a lot of actors that just show up, they'll read the script right there on set, hop on, do their lines, where's my check, and walk away.
Yeah.
And series like that and movies like that, you can tell they just don't have it. But with Eureka, and as I talked to Erica Carr and Neil Grayston last year,
Erica
Chair. All right.
All right.
See, we debated that for a long time on how to pronounce it. And for a year now, I've been saying it wrong.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, when I met her, I was like, it's Erica said, no, it's Erica Chair. Yeah.
And you guys had a wonderful repertoire on the set together, and you could tell that it made the series it gave it that extra special.
I love those guys. I mean, I love the cast. There's not an ego in the bunch. We all go in and we just get the job done. It's all about getting the job done. Everything's backburnered. Because you get embarrassed sometimes, you do stupid things, and all of that's backburnered because the job comes first. And that sort of ethic is what I'm most proud of our cast. It's just a great place to work.
And I can say I can tell by talking to you, you guys have a great ethic, and you're just great, wonderful people. I want to take the time to thank you once again for joining us on that Syfy show.
I have one question.
Shoot.
All right. Behind the camera, Syfy Ammo.
I think you should spin the camera around. If you're going to ask a question, we got to see who's asking it. Let's call. No.
I
was going to do it.
She won't ever come in front of the camera.
No.
I love it. She's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
No.
The episode when the bank was in the air and you screamed like a girl, is that you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you.
I have a powerful falsetto. It really is. It's amazing.
And we won't ruin your voice. We're trying to make you do it.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, I'm tortured at this point. I don't even know if I could get up there.
It has been a true privilege and pleasure speaking to you, Collin.
Thanks.
I'd love to have you on the show again. Anytime you have something new to promote, please feel free to contact us. We loved everything that's gone on with the series, the crossovers with Warehouse 13, just how the series has grown. I mean, it started out so simple, and then at the end, you're like the master of this little town. But when you walked in, it scared the hell out of you.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about that is we were all idiots, like Jamie'd never run a show, and I'd never been the lead of a show, and a bunch of the actors had never been on a show, and so it was sort of all these people who'd never done it before trying to figure out the best way to do it or what we wanted it to be. From my perspective, I'd worked, under, I guess you could say, by doing guest stars on tons of different shows, and from crazy people to fantastic people. Like I did an episode of Becker under Ted Danson, and just watching how he conducts himself, even as just a guest star for 5 days, I could watch that and go, that's how I want to do it. If I ever get the chance to do it, that's how I want to do it. And I learned a lot from those people, so being able to put that into practice was huge.
That sounds like it would be a very awesome experience. Once again, I'd like to thank you, Collin Ferguson.
Thanks.
Joining us here at Dragon Con. It's this Chris West from That Syfy Show. We'll be back with more interviews, so stay tuned.